Get social with us. Follow us on Instagram at Goodtaste TV.
Thank you to our sponsors. In Houston's culinary world, she's known as the Truffle Lady. A French native and Texan by choice, Diane Roederer is the visionary behind DR Delicacy, the undisputed leader in luxury ingredients. From the world's finest truffles and caviar to the most exquisite mushrooms, she's bringing rare, high-end delicacies to top chefs, restaurants, and discerning food lovers. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Good Taste for the Soul. I'm Tangi Patton. So glad you're with us today. We're going to talk about some of your viewer comments. You know, we're only a month old, so we'll get to those. But first, we're going to talk about the perfect Mexican rice. A lot of you had comments about our segment with the Enchilada Queen, Sylvia Casares. If you haven't seen that episode, she taught us how to make the perfect enchiladas. And her secret is that she flavors each and every tortilla. So if you haven't seen the episode, it's fun to watch, and you'll find it listed in one of the episodes below. But so many of you had comments and debates going on TikTok and on our Instagram site. So that was fun to see. Well, we're going to go back in the kitchen today with Sylvia. This time, she's going to show us how to cook the perfect Mexican rice. She says this technique is foolproof. Plus, she's a lot of fun to work with, too. Take a look. Okay, so I am with Sylvia, the Enchilada Queen, here at this wonderful Sylvia's Kitchen in Houston. And you're going to show us some really tips on doing authentic Mexican cuisine, right?
Yes.
And Tex-Mex.
Yes,
Because
yes.
there is a difference.
So this recipe, of course, I teach it in my cooking classes, and I've had reports through the years that people that prepare this recipe at home are considered rock star.
Oh, we want to be that, right?
You know, Mexican rice cooks.
Yeah.
So a couple of little things that you have to do. The first thing is you have to use a long grain white rice.
Okay.
You want to buy the best quality that you can find. So not the generic.
Right.
Because why? Because they have a lot of brokens in them. A lot of broken kernels, and what that amounts to is mushy rice.
Ah, okay.
So you want to try to get the one that's priced the best or the highest.
Right.
Okay. So
Can I throw in a gratuitous, like a Goya product?
Yes.
I think they
absolutely.
make wonderful rice.
You want a high quality rice.
Yes.
Goya would be great. Okie dokie. So the next thing to make Mexican rice, it's not Mexican rice unless you brown it.
Okay.
So my recipe for the home calls for 1 cup of rice and 2 tablespoons of oil.
Just vegetable oil,
Yeah, just
any
vegetable
oil
oil,
you've got.
yeah. And you want to put it like on medium-low heat, and you're going to brown it. And you kind of have to stand around here, and if you look away too much, you might over-brown it, and then you have to start over.
Okay, so we don't want to do that. It happens, though.
It happens to the best of us, yes. Right?
A little inside
Anyway,
joke.
yes, a little inside joke. Okay, so now you see it's got like little golden brown, and so we've got that ready to go. The next thing is, this is another little flavor secret. So we call it the Texas Trinity. So what it is for this recipe would be 3 garlic cloves, fresh garlic, 1.5 teaspoons of cumin seed.
You want the seed, not the
Yeah,
powder,
not the
right?
powder, right. It's an immense difference in flavor if you go to the powder. So it's a disaster at my house if I happen to run out of cumin. So anyway, and then fresh pepper, black pepper. So we're going to do 1.25 teaspoons. And I'm big on measuring, but if you measure accurately each time, your recipe will always come out perfect.
And these are the whole black peppercorns.
Yeah, the whole black pepper. So I'm going to get a few in there. Okie dokie. So then we're going to put a little bit of water in there because you need water to make the paste. Right. And then my little, it's called a molcajete, or Mexican mortar and pestle is what I call it sometimes. And we're going to make a paste out of it. So you just have to kind of grind away.
Now,
So
is that, not to interrupt you, but a lot of
No.
people may be seeing this at home and think, why can't I just throw it in a blender?
Well, you could.
You could, okay.
Yeah,
but
you
this
could.
is the really authentic one.
Yeah, you don't have to do this. It'll
Okay.
taste, if you get this, once you get everything smashed and you get a paste, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be in this type of tool. This is the
is a
ancient
special
way.
one, too.
Yeah, this is the ancient way. It's my mom's, and I was the only daughter, 3 brothers,
wow.
and just me, and so I ended up with this. So this thing is It was given to her in 1939 when she married,
Wow.
and she made, I don't know, hundreds
Yeah.
and hundreds of
You
meals.
being the
with
only
her.
daughter, you probably got to spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
I did, and I just from a young age, I just love to cook, and I love to watch. And at first, I just started cooking by watching, but I had this compunction to have recipes, so that I could duplicate flavors. And so
Okay.
everything that she did, I eventually converted them to recipes.
Oh, really?
And then, of course, they became my restaurant and then eventually my cookbook.
How
So,
about that?
you know.
Because
yeah.
generationally, they didn't use recipes
No,
really. I can
there are
remember
no
cooking with my
recipes.
grandmother. It was
No.
a pinch of this, a pinch of
No,
that,
they don't-
pour milk in there.
It's in their head.
Yes.
And so, yeah, so there are no recipes. And so a lot of people feel a little intimidated to make rice because it doesn't turn out that great. So, but that's what you have to do with this. You have to grind it, but you could use a spice mill. And, you know, so.
But adding this to it makes so much difference in
It does.
the flavor.
You will have. It'll be home. It's the flavor
Yeah.
of home. Once you do this, this makes it's worth the trouble. And what a lot of cooks do is they'll double, triple, or quadruple the recipe, and then you always have it ready, and then you just spoon it out. You can keep it
do
in
you
the
freeze
fridge.
it, or-
In the fridge.
The
Just keep it
refrigerator.
in the fridge in a covered little airtight
Yeah.
container, and you've got it. You've got it going on. You're ready, and all you do is scoop it out. For this recipe, it'll be 2 teaspoons of it.
Okay.
And this thing is, I usually a lot of times work with a larger one. I'm working with this small one because I wanted to use my mother's.
Yes, no, I
I
wanted
use,
you to.
I wanted to use
you
my
to.
mother's tool, this mortar and pestle, molcajete. Okay, and so I'm crushing it because I want all the flavor to come out, especially the pepper. It's a little bit harder to grind, but anyway, here we are. So the next step is.
Smells great.
So I've got my rice browned. I've got my spices here, and then I've got, I'm going to make it with chicken broth. So I've got a little bit of chicken broth, fresh onion and tomato. I love onion and tomato, but I don't want to look at it. So I puree it, and let's see. So we're going to make a little, go. There you go. Okie dokie. So we've got our sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the chicken broth in there. The rest of the chicken broth, I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
So 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce. Tomatoes these days are just not that red. And so I always have to kick it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and I noticed as you were getting the sauce, you took it out of the can. You just spooned out the
Yeah.
sauce out of the can, which
Yeah.
I never thought about
Yeah.
doing that before.
Yeah. So now we're going to add the rest of the balance of the liquid, which I've liquefied my onion and garlic. It's there, but you don't have to look at it.
Yeah.
And that'll take care of the little ones if they don't want to look at
Right?
their
But
veggies.
it still adds more flavor.
Yes.
Another layer.
Yes, 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 yes. So now we're going to bring it to a boil, and then you set your timer 15 minutes exactly.
Really?
Exactly 15 minutes, yes.
Okay.
On a low heat, and then once the 15 minutes is up, turn the heat off. I give it a gentle fold, and let it sit another 5 minutes covered, and you've got perfect rice, and you'll be a rock star.
I love it because rice is one of those iffy things.
Oh my goodness, I got to talking. I forgot to put the one of the main flavor.
The labor-intensive part.
Yeah, the one. So it's two teaspoons of this. Oh my God, Tanji.
It
That happens. Yeah. All right. Notice I'm measuring, but if you measure, it'll always come out perfect. I'm going to stir it in, and we'll have amazing rice in about
No, I
20
love
minutes.
this
Yeah.
because to me, rice is one of those things often on a plate. It's easy to ignore it. If it has no flavor, it's just taking up space, right? It's a
It's
starch.
plate coverage.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I call it. And so I'm going to set my timer, and in 15 minutes, well, in 20,
We'll have-
because at the end of 15 minutes, we'll turn off the heat, stir it,
All right.
fold it, and that's it.
In perfection. All
Rice.
right.
So it's all about this. Take the time and grind your
Yeah.
spices, and it's
Well,
perfect.
the aromas are amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, they really
Yeah.
pop.
Notice the color. Notice the
Yeah.
the fluffy grains. And I did forget to mention that if you want to do a full meal, you can add chicken to this.
While it's cooking?
Yeah, at the beginning. Drop
Okay.
some rotisserie chicken in there, or chicken tender.
Small
slice up
pieces,
some.
yeah.
And you'll have your arroz con pollo.
I love
or
that.
rice with chicken.
One
You wanna
pot
go?
wonder, yeah.
Go for it.
Cheers. It's so good.
One of the things that we like in South Texas is we always put a little bit of cumin, and I didn't mention that. We like a little bit of cumin in our rice. So, but it's not real strong.
No, it's
there.
fabulous. Yeah. No, it adds so much dimension to it.
Just
It really
a little
does.
layer of flavor. Yes.
I love
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sylvia assured me that if you follow those instructions, your rice will be perfect every single time. She's such a wonderful lady. If you haven't heard her episode, I highly recommend it. It was very popular. All right, on to your viewer comments. First, I want to thank you all for being so kind. You know, this podcast is only about a month old, so we are still finding our way, and I absolutely love hearing from all of you, so thank you. Let's see. Doug says he watches our show in Houston every single week, which airs on KPRC, the NBC affiliate. He writes, I actually had the pleasure of seeing you with Paula Deen a few years ago at the Houston Home and Garden Show. Wow, what a delight. Well, Doug, thank you for the kind words. And I hadn't thought about that in years. So I went back and actually found the video. That was a fun day. Paula was there with her husband, and she had a cute little dog with her as well. And my job at that show was to introduce Paula to the audience on the stage there. Well, we were both on the stage together, and she went crazy about a pair of tie-dye jeans I was wearing. Take a look.
Look at these breeches. I love
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Good Taste. And we are in for a big treat today. Look who's here, Paula Deen.
I'm excited.
Well, not more than I am. It has been
thank you.
great fun watching you, learning from you.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask you, we've got the holidays coming up with your new lifestyle in terms of your diabetes and what you're doing. How will your diet change for the holidays?
You know, it won't, honey, because my family expects a certain thing during the holidays, and you know, that's all right. You just don't eat that way every day. It really is all about moderation and not splurging as often as maybe one would like. So it's all right to sit down and eat that wonderful meal. That's for me personally, because mine is so under control.
So a little butter's still good.
Oh, butter
Please,
is the
say
only
yes.
thing. Butter is the only thing. If you're gonna eat something like that, eat the real deal, you know?
No, I totally agree.
Eat the real deal.
Well, so let's talk in terms of dishes. So if we were to come to your house on a holiday event, like either Thanksgiving, Christmas, what would we find on your table?
You would find a very, very Southern traditional Thanksgiving meal, one that my grandmother, my mother, my aunts cooked. You would find a turkey, a ham, the most wonderful cornbread dressing in the world. You would find a cranberry sauce, fresh cranberry sauce with layered with cream cheese and a little mayonnaise mixed together. Yum. You would find sweet potato casserole. You would find fresh green beans, new potatoes. You would find rice and giblet gravy. Good chance you would see ambrosia.
Okay.
So it's just everything that my family expects.
What is your favorite holiday dish to prepare?
Probably my dressing, or my grandmother's dressing. Years ago, she taught me how to make it, and to me it's just like the best in the world, and it really triggers those memories of being in the kitchen with my grandmother. And the last Thanksgiving meal that my mother cooked before my daddy died, she had the turkey and the dressing, and I swear it was the best dressing I'd ever put in my mouth. I think she had made it with some pork stock, and I ate and I ate and I ate, and then I was sick.
It was that good.
I said, "Oh, Mama, you can't make something that good anymore."
Well, I'd love the recipe.
Well, it's in my cookbook, honey. It's in my
Wonderful.
cookbook.
Wonderful. And a favorite Texas dish? Do you like Mexican food?
You know, I love Mexican food. I love chimichangas.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, deep fried ones. Oh gosh.
Once in a while,
With
it's
the
a good
cheese.
thing.
Once in a while, you know, a bite or two. A bite or two.
Well, welcome to Texas. It's great to meet you.
Thank you. It's
My experience with Paula was great fun. She couldn't have been nicer. She was so warm and friendly. It was a fun day all around. Anyway, I couldn't believe I still had that video. All right, another viewer, Nancy, commented on our episode with Max Lucado. Excellent podcast. Max teaches in such a way that we can all understand about the end times in a non-scary way. I hope you have him on again. Nancy, I do too. He has a standing invitation anytime. I love the way he communicates. He's such a great speaker, pastor, and he's an incredible writer. If any of you have not read Max Lucado's books, I highly recommend them. They are so well done. So Max, if you're watching, come on again. We absolutely love hearing from you. And I love hearing from all of you. Like I say, this podcast is only about a month old. And our goal is just like our TV show, we want to share great food and wine knowledge and tell the stories of the people that make all of those wonderful things in our life happen. But we also want to broaden the topic to talk more about people's stories. You know, each and every one of us has a story. Everybody does. And I think when we can hear someone else's story, hear about their journey, struggles they've overcome, it can be very empowering for all of us. So if you know of a story we need to be telling here on Good Taste, please let me know. Email me, goodtaste@tangipatten.com. Again, thanks so much. We're so glad you're here. We'll see you next time.
Get social with us. Follow us on Instagram at Good Taste TV.